What a bunch of historical malarkey. A group of self-proclaimed experts on the presidency just ranked Joe Biden as the 14th best president in history, while giving Trump last place.
First of all, don't try to take malarkey. You know that's Joe Biden's thing. There are a few things he can remember these days. Let him keep his catchphrase, woman. But anyway, she's mad there because, as she alluded to, a group of self-proclaimed presidential experts rated all of the presidents and ranked them based on the ratings. So this comes from the American Political Science Association. Every one of those historians is a PhD who has devoted their lifetime to doing research on the president. So they're not so much self-proclaimed presidential experts as presidential experts in an academic body that cares about politics and policy.
Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait, click join now on YouTube.
So anyway, here is the ranking, and you can see there that Lincoln, he gets number 1. He got an average score of 95 out of 100. Biden is way down at 62.66 out of 100. Now he did still rank 14th among the presidents. That is unacceptable to them that he's the 14th most liked president from historians. But the fact that Donald Trump averaged under 11 points and comes in last as president, that's what of course angers Jeanine Pirro so much. But honestly, like, I get that we're in partisan tribal times and I get that they have to show how much they love Donald Trump. But other than like his rhetoric, they like what he says. They like that he says mean things about people that they don't like. What did he do as president? Like, what did he get passed? He passed, so there was some mild criminal justice reform. That was good. That was probably literally the best thing he did as president. And he passed trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the richest people in the country and corporations, drastically slashing the corporate tax rate, which is good for wealthy people, but not regular people. And I will remind you, he ended his first term by utterly, willfully failing to stop the spread of COVID, and then trying to overturn the results of the election in which the American public rejected him. I feel like their hands were really tied here. How could they not rank him last out of all that? Ray, what do you think?
I mean, of course he's coming in last. I also think that Republicans are just perpetually bitter that liberal arts academia is liberal and that the people who, especially in academic paths like history, the people that tend to focus on that, study that, and get these positions in that field are more left wing, and that's the the ideas that they're bringing to this types of ranking, which it doesn't matter. They could have just not done the story about it. Who cares? Who does this?
Yeah, they don't have to.
At all. Like, it's so irrelevant, but just they've got 100%. To fill in a time slot, and what Judge Jeanine is able to cover between sips of her under the desk wine is limited. So they got to get an easy topic. They said Trump bad, so be angry about it.
Exactly. They have to stick up for him because they know there's a chance that Trump is stewing over the results of this. But yeah, I don't know why they're surprised, both by the rankings, but also by the sort of people that are political science professors, or basically all professors. I'm not saying there are no conservatives in this. I was in a doctoral program in poli-sci. There were some conservatives there, yeah. Particularly among political theorists. But you guys have spent literally decades demonizing the very idea that you would go to school or care about it or want to study or want to teach. What did you think was going to happen? You guys are constantly mad at like Hollywood for being woke, which is not an accurate representation of most of the content coming out of Hollywood. But if creatives tend to be libs, you guys have spent the last half century demonizing creativity and art. What did you think was going to happen coming out of that?